I feel like I should explain why I feel loved at the church. And it's because, like I said, no matter what I do, like today, you know, I always bring something to church to do when I go. Like, sometimes I have clay with me. Today I brought knitting because I have a really hard time focusing if my hands aren't doing something, or like my feet aren't tapping. Like, I constantly kind of have to be in motion of some sort because I feel like I have a lot of energy, but then I'm usually tired a lot too, so maybe, I don't know, some kind of weird imbalance there. But if I'm not doing something with my hands, my brain gets really unfocused and I'll be thinking that energy out because I just have a hard time sitting still. I'm pretty sure I don't have ADHD, but you know, I don't think people were meant to sit for 2 or 3 hours straight either, and we average 2 hours at church. You know, kids can't do it in class or whatever, right? So like today I had crocheting with me, and I was talking to one of the head pastors after, and he saw it and he's like, "Were you knitting in church?" And I was explaining it to him, and he's like, "Well, then you go ahead and knit." And like they're like this, they're so chill, and they're like, normally they're like, get off your phones. And like in our church we have like a whole Twitter background feed. We have our own hashtags so people can like discuss the sermon on Twitter as it's happening. And you know, I only show up to church when I'm not working, which lately has not been very often. And you know, even if I haven't been there for a month, they're like, "Oh, hey Ashley, how's it going?" Like, they're not like, "Why haven't you been here?" And they're just super chill, right? And like, I was watching a documentary, I posted it on Facebook for those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, about people who fall in love with objects instead of with humans. And this one lady fell in love with the piano at her church, and it was a smaller church, and the priest kicked her out. And then she came back when that priest left, and the new priest, she wasn't in love with the piano anymore, but she had fallen in love with the railing at the banister. It was a small Catholic church, and you know, right in front of the sacrament kind of a deal, the altar. And he came out and he's like, "How are you?" And she's like, "I'm terrified, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I think you're gonna kick me out too." And he's like, "You know what, this is God's house, and you know, God loves people, and we love people, and you're welcome here." And that honestly still makes me cry. But that's how I feel like Christians should behave. And so that's the kind of church that I want to be in, and that's the church like I feel like I'm in. And you know, I know a lot of different pastors and churches around town because I went to a Christian school, and I feel like I can walk into a lot of different churches and feel that way. But I've been to the church I go to for my entire life, pretty much. Like, I've tried a few other churches when I'm out of town and stuff, but you know, I've been with them for a very long time, and they've watched me grow up, and you know, I know that they care about me. And I really hope that someday, if you're willing to give Christianity a try, and if you're not a Christian, you know, try and find a church, or I hope that the church that you try treats you like that. And if it doesn't, I'm super sorry about it. And if you are a Christian that's attending a church that you find doesn't love you in the way you want to be loved, I mean, my heart breaks for you. Like, Christianity is supposed to be about love. It's supposed to be about honor and, you know, having a family. And if you don't have that at your church, then I don't really see what you can get at a church. Like, you know, obviously the minister and whatever has a sermon, and that can help, but if you don't have the example to follow it up, I feel like that's a dichotomy that would be really hard to deal with for me. Like, if you tell me you love me and God's supposed to love me and you're not loving me, I mean, isn't that why a lot of people leave the church? So if that's you, I hope that someday you're able to find a place that will treat you the way you need to be treated. Guys, does anybody out there legitimately like studying? I have been taking notes. That's what you do. Comparative politics. Now, I really do enjoy politics, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, studying, right? It's just, like, humdrum is the best word I can come up with. Good grief. Like, what do you sit there and you're like 8 chapters later, and you have like 6 pages of notes, and you're like, what am I doing with my life? At least that's how I feel right now. I think I just wrote on the sheets. Oops. Oh well. Washed out. Yeah. Exciting day today. Super. Anyway, that's what I'm doing for most of the night. And I figured out a solution to my problem of the camera turning off like every 10 seconds. So that's exciting. That is a good thing. And the battery's dying. And I really got nothing for you today, man. I've had a pretty. Whoa, our house is falling apart apparently. But I've had a pretty low key day. All I've really done is went to church and gamed with my brother and had a nap and studied. Life of a student, right? Makes for a super interesting vlog. There were funny ones the other days when I was beating Christian up and stuff. He comes in here tonight and he's like, I'm gonna hit you with socks or something just so you'll beat me up some more. And I'm like, if you want me to beat you up, just come in here and ask. And he's a goof, and he really, this is what I'm doing now. Exciting things. Woohoo! Anyway, yeah. Drake and Auntie and Uncle left town. His hockey games are over, and woohoo! I got nothing for, Shay, my friend Shay, I got her to do a painting for me, and it is finally finished, which I am excited about. It's completely not what I thought it was gonna be. I mean, you know how you kind of just have, like, an idea in your head? And I didn't give her any specifics, and it turned out entirely different, but I really like it. So, that should be coming home soon. I don't know exactly when, but soon. And my passport should be here pretty quick, so I'm excited about that. And Charles Trippy's CTFXC cancer shirt should be here within the next couple of weeks as well. So I got some cool things coming to me. But yeah, sorry, today's pretty boring. Nothing special. You guys have family members that are addicted to things, aka games and little brothers, or big brothers, or husbands, or boyfriends, or whatever. My little brother is addicted to games, so I got him hooked on one that I could play with him, so that we'd be able to spend time together. So, I played RuneScape when I was his age, and I'm playing with him now. I'm playing it with him. And he plays a lot on the Xbox too, but he has little friends in the Xbox that are, when they're all talking together, they're quite rude to each other. On this one, he can't really talk to anybody except the people that are typing, and you can't yell at them and stuff, so I thought this would be a better option for him. And plus, we can play it together, so I get to spend some time with him doing something that he likes to do, so that makes me excited. And yeah, so I'm just sitting here playing RuneScape with him, and I was listening to the Lumineers, but then I had to turn them off because I can't talk to you. Well, yeah, it doesn't work that way. Anyway, because it's loud, right? So that's what I'm doing that's what I've been doing for the last 45 minutes. It's good times.